Okay, so then topic 6, we've got a few application problems. This is our last topic. So you're figuring out, is it arithmetic, is it geometric, and then just using these same formulas that we've been using for the rest of this review. So bricks are stacked in a pile with 42 bricks on the bottom row, 9 bricks on the top row. Each row has 3 fewer bricks than the row before it. So you can tell that that is addition and subtraction rather than multiplication or division. So that makes it arithmetic. So you don't have to write that down if you don't want to, but this is just kind of for our own notes so that we know what formula we're using. So write a formula to represent the number of bricks on each row, then determine the number of bricks on the 7th row. So we have, on the first row, we said there are 42. And then we know that at some point, so it just says top row. It doesn't actually tell us how many there actually are. So we just know that at some point you've got 9. And then D is 3. It says each row has 3 fewer bricks than the row below it. So D would be a -3. So that's the info that we have so far. So a formula for the number of bricks on each row. So if you wanted the nth row, you've got D times n minus 1 and then plus the initial value. And then we can simplify that up to get an actual formula that we could sub something into. So distribute the -3. This ends up being a +3 plus 42. So the formula itself would be this, and then you could sub whatever you wanted into it, and the problem asked us to sub in a 7. So in the 7th row, we could sub 7 in right here, plus 45. So this is 45 and then a -21. So that ends up being 24. So there are 24 bricks in the 7th row. Number 55, company is offering a job with a salary of $48,000 for the first year, then a raise of 2% each year after that. So that is set up like a geometric, because that's multiplication rather than addition or subtraction. Write a formula to represent the salary after each year of employment, then determine the salary after 30 years. All right, so here's what we've got. The starting salary is $48,000, and then the R, that's your rate. So if you're getting a 2% raise, you're getting 100% of what you had the year before, and then plus 2% more. So each year you'd end up multiplying your salary by 1.02, and that gives you that 2% raise. Because here's the 2%, here's your salary that you had the previous year. All right, so write a formula, so the geometric formula for each individual item, where we start with our A1, and then in parentheses, we have R raised to the n minus 1. So that's a formula that we had a couple pages ago. So that's the formula itself. Then determine the salary after 30 years. So if you worked for 30 years at the same job, we could sub this in. So 1.02 and then times 30 minus 1. So 29. And then that could just get subbed right into the calculator. Okay, so 85,240, and then roughly 55 cents. Oops, there we go. Okay, one more. Table shows the number of seats in the first 3 rows of a concert hall. This pattern continues for 12 rows, so you can see it's going up to. So that makes it arithmetic. So we can figure out the starting value is 30. The common difference appears to be a +2, and then we can work from there. And then the n's, there are 12 rows, so n would be 12. All right, so a sub n, we've got the common difference times n minus 1. And then, actually, you know what, we're just going to plug the 12 right in because we want to see if it ends up being more than 500. So 12 minus 1, and then plus the starting value. Okay, so this 12 minus 1, we get 11. And then this, so we want this to be the 12th value. So 11 times 2 is 22, plus 30 would be 52. So there are 52 seats in the 12th row. We want to get a sum. And so a sum is one of the other formulas that we had a couple pages ago. So the sum, you take n out fronts, take the first value plus the last value divided by 2. All right, so this ends up with, let me see, 12, and then in parentheses, 30 plus 52 divided by 2. So we end up with 492. Okay, so there are 492 seats, and then they want to know if there are enough for 500 people. So that would be a no. Not quite. You've got 492 seats, so just a few people that would not be able to fit.